You ever walk into a gun shop lately and feel like the walls are getting picked clean? Ammo disappearing, shelves thinning out, and the handguns everyone trusts, gone before lunchtime. Something's shifting this year, and shooters across the country can feel it. So here's the question. Which XTen pistols are people scrambling to grab before the next shortage hits? Today, we're breaking down the models vanishing faster than stores can restock them, the ones everyone's talking about at ranges, counters, and online in 2025. If you want the full picture of what's driving the craze, stick with me. This one's going to tell you exactly what's happening. Let's get started. Kicking things off at number 15, Walther PDP Compact, the pistol that's been quietly humiliating every other striker-fired compact on the market in 2025 and making grown Glock owners question their life choices. Walk into literally any decent gun shop right now, and the PDP Compact is the one sitting front and center on the counter, usually with a little crowd around it, because these things evaporate the second the box is opened. We're talking a true compact that measures just 7.2 inches overall, 5.4 inches tall, 1.34 inches wide, with a 4-inch performance duty trigger barrel that's cold hammer forged and polygon rifled for stupid accuracy. Weight comes in at a very carry-friendly 26 ounces unloaded, but it feels even lighter on the belt because Walther absolutely nailed the balance. Standard capacity is a flush-fitting 15+1 of 9mm, but it also accepts the full-size 18-round PDP magazines without any adapter, so you can run 19 rounds in the gun if you want to get spicy. What really sets this thing on fire is the trigger, hands down the best factory striker trigger ever shipped on a production pistol. We're talking 5 pounds flat, almost zero take-up, a rolling brake that feels like snapping a glass rod, and an audible, tactile, ridiculously short reset that you can ride like a $2,000 custom 2011. Walther calls it the performance duty trigger, and the name isn't marketing fluff, it's legitimately that good. The slide is optics ready from the factory with the most universal mounting system on the planet. It ships with 6 different adapter plates in the case, covering everything from Trigicon RMR and Holosun 509T all the way to the little Shield RMSC and Leupold Delta Point Micro. Zero extra cost, zero gunsmithing. Front and rear slide serrations are deep, wide, and perfectly placed. And the super terrain serrations on top of the slide actually work to cut glare when you're running a dot. The frame is where Walther went full mad scientist. The grip texture is their new super terrain pattern. Aggressive hexagonal pyramids that lock the gun into your hand like Velcro, but somehow never chew up your skin or cover garments. The front strap and back strap have a slight palm swell and the perfect 18-degree angle, so the bore axis sits super low and points like your finger is an extension of the gun. Undercut trigger guard, interchangeable back straps, small, medium, large included. And a Picatinny rail that actually fits modern weapon lights without looking like an afterthought. Controls are fully ambidextrous slide stop and reversible mag release, and the magwell is subtly flared for faster reloads under stress. Out on the range, this thing is borderline unfair. I've watched brand new shooters who've never touched a handgun before pick up a PDP Compact and punch sub-2-inch groups at 15 yards on their first magazine. Then look at me like, is it supposed to be this easy? Recoil is soft and flat. Follow-ups are lightning quick, and it eats every kind of ammo from cheap steel case blaster fodder to the hottest +P defensive loads without a hiccup. Real-world street price right now, mid-December 2025, is hovering between $549 and $599 depending on FDE or black, and whether it comes with the 3 magazines or 5 magazine LE package that a lot of shops are blowing out. Downsides? Honestly, they're minor. The factory plastic sights are decent, but you'll want to swap them for metal night sights or suppressor height if you run a dot. And some people with huge hands prefer the full-size PDP-F if they're doing duty use. But for everyday carry, home defense, range toy, or even running local USPSA or IDPA matches and carry optics, the PDP Compact does everything at an elite level while costing half of what the cool kids are spending on custom Glocks or Staccatos. It's not just a great gun for the money, It's straight up one of the best fighting pistols ever made, period. And that's why every time a shop gets a handful in stock, they're gone before lunch. If you've been sleeping on the PDP Compact, wake up and grab one before the next wave of panic buying hits, because these are the ones people are going to be kicking themselves for missing in a couple years. Sliding into number 14, Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Metal Comp, the aluminum frame monster that's making every other compact look slow in 2025. This isn't just another polymer duty gun with a fancy paint job. S&W took the proven M&P 2.0 platform, dropped in a full-length 77.5 T6 aluminum frame that brings the empty weight to a confidence-inspiring 29.8 ounces, slapped a 4.5-inch ported barrel and matching ported slide on it, and basically said, "Hold my beer" to muzzle flip. Overall length sits at 7.9 inches, height 5.5 inches with the flush mag, and it's still only 1.3 inches wide, so it hides under an awful lot of performance under a t-shirt. Capacity is a legit 17+1 of 9mm in the standard mags, and yes, they drop free like they should. The ports aren't some tiny cosmetic holes, they're big, aggressive, and combined with the heavier metal frame, they turn this thing into a laser beam that barely moves between shots. Follow-ups are stupid fast. The flat-face trigger breaks at a consistent 4.55 pounds with almost zero over travel and an audible, tactile reset you can feel through gloves. Out of the box, it comes optics ready with the CORE plate system. Plates sold separately, but most guys just direct mill for a 407K or EPS carry. Tall suppressor height night sights that co-witness perfectly, aggressive front and rear slide serrations, and that burnt bronze or tungsten gray Cerakote that looks mean as hell and wears like iron. Street price right now is hovering between $820 and $870 depending on color and where you look. And every single shop I've hit in the last 2 months has them flying out the door the same day the truck shows up. People are running these for everyday carry, nightstand duty, home defense, and I've personally watched guys smoke limited division in USPSA with bone stock examples because the gun is just that flat and that accurate. Downsides? It's a hair heavier than the polymer version, but that's the point. The ports make it a little louder and throw a fireball at dusk. And if you've got tiny hands, the full-size grip might feel a touch chunky. But swap to the small backstrap and it's golden. Bottom line, if you want a pistol that feels like a $200 custom shotgun, shoots like a compensated race piece, and still carries easier than most all-steel 1911s, the M&P 2.0 Metal Comp is the one disappearing faster than free ammo at the range. Canik Rival-S, the all-steel Turkish beast that has Glock, SIG, and CZ fanboys writing angry letters in 2025. This thing is a full-size, optics-ready, compensated race gun that Canik sells for the price most companies charge for a base model polymer striker. Weighing in at a hefty 42.5 ounces unloaded, thanks to the chromally steel frame and 5-inch ported barrel, the Rival-S measures 8.3 inches long, 5.7 inches tall, and 1.4 inches wide, yet somehow still balances like it was designed by wizards. Standard capacity is 18+1 of 9mm, but it ships with two 18-round mags that feel like they cost $50 each. The single port compensator is machined into the barrel itself, keeping gas pushing straight up, so the heavy gun barely budges. We're talking open gun levels of flat in a ready-to-carry package. Trigger is a flat face, adjustable shoe that breaks right around 3.25 pounds with zero creep, and a reset so short you'll think it's cheating. Out of the box you get 5 optic plates, Trijicon, Leupold, Holosun, Vortex, and Seymour, fully adjustable rear sight, fiber optic front, 3 sizes of backstraps and mag releases, a flared mag well, aggressive but skin-friendly stippling, 90-degree slide stop delete for you gamers, and a custom hard case that looks like it belongs to a $2,000 pistol. Finish is either chrome or black Cerakote over the steel, and it wears like tank armor. Real-world street price as of December 2025 is $750 if you're lucky, sometimes creeping to $780 for the dark chrome version that looks straight evil. Pros: shoots softer than guns, twice the price, comes with everything, eats any ammo, insanely accurate cold hammer forged barrel, and the value is straight up stupid. Cons: it's heavy. Again, that's the point. The gun is flat because of it. The steel frame makes holster selection a little pickier, and Canik's customer service can be slow if you ever need it, though most owners never do. This is the pistol people are buying to dominate weekend matches on Saturday and still trust their life to on Monday, and the reason shops can't keep them on the shelf for more than a few hours. At number 13, Canik SFX Rival-S, the all-steel Turkish monster that's making Glock guys question their life choices in 2025. Look, if you're still sleeping on the Canik SFX Rival-S, it's time to wake up and smell the burnt powder, because this thing is absolutely embarrassing guns that cost twice as much. We're talking a full-size, all-steel frame competition pistol, chambered in 9mm, that comes out of the box ready to smoke USPSA matches on Saturday and still ride nightstand duty on Sunday. Overall length is 8.3 inches, height 5.75 inches with the mag inserted, width a comfortable 1.41 inches at the grip, and the barrel is a full 5-inch match-grade tube with a built-in single-port compensator that knocks muzzle rise down to almost nothing. Unloaded it tips the scales at a hefty but confidence-inspiring 42.7 ounces, which is exactly why it shoots so ridiculously flat and soft. Capacity is a standard 18+1 of 9mm, but Canik throws in 2 Metgar-made steel magazines, the same ones that go into high-end Italian race guns, plus 3 interchangeable back straps, 5 optic mounting plates covering everything from RMR to Holosun 509T, a complete holster, mag loader, cleaning kit, extra fiber optic rods, and even a custom hard case. All that for a real-world street price hovering right around $700, $750 as of December of 2025, depending on color, chrome or dark chrome. The trigger is the real star here. Single action only, flat-faced aluminum shoe, 90-degree brake that's usually around 2.5 to 3 pounds out of the box, with almost zero take-up and a reset so short and loud you can hear it over the muzzle blast. Slide serrations front and rear are deep and aggressive. The optics cut is the deeper Pro pattern, so your red dot sits low and co-witnesses perfectly with the tall, blacked-out rear and fiber optic front sight. The frame has interchangeable aluminum grip panels, gold, gray, or black depending on batch, an oversized magwell that still fits in IDPA box, extended left side slide stop, reversible mag release, and a Picatinny rail that actually lines up with modern weapon lights. Recoil impulse is insanely manageable because of the weight up high in the steel frame and that factory comp doing its job. So running 115 grain range ammo or hot 147 grain P+P feels like a gentle push instead of a snap. Downsides? Yeah, it's heavy for all-day carry. Most people run it as a duty or competition gun. The steel finish will show holster wear if you're looking for a safe queen. And finding extra magazines can still be a pain because demand is nuts. But for the money, you're getting a pistol that flat-out outshoots CZ Shadows, Beretta 92X performances, and even some custom 2011s in the hands of average shooters. Ranges are full of stories of guys selling their Glock 34s and Staccatos just to fund 2 Rival-S builds. Because once you feel that trigger and watch the dot barely move between shots, there's no going back. Shops can't keep them on the shelf longer than a couple hours. Distributors are back-ordered months out, and every comment section on the internet is flooded with, "Just picked up my Rival-S, and I'm never buying another polymer gun again." If you want the absolute best performance per dollar pistol on the planet right now, the one that makes experienced shooters grin like kids on Christmas morning, go hunt down a Canik SFX Rival-S before the next wave of panic buying hits. Trust me, your buddies will hate you when you're ringing steel at 35 yards faster than they can with their 1,500 plus SAR setups, and you'll still have enough cash left over for a case of ammo and a nice steak dinner. This isn't hype. This is 2025 reality. Get one while you still can. Coming in at number 12, now let's talk real duty size heat, the SIG Sauer P320 XTen Comp. Yeah, you heard me right, straight up 10mm auto in a striker-fired high-capacity package that's got the whole industry shook in 2025. This isn't some niche woods gun anymore. The P320 XTen Comp is the pistol that finally dragged 10mm into the mainstream and made it feel like it belongs on every serious shooter's hip. Overall length sits at 8.5 inches, height 5.8 inches with the flush mag, width a very carry-friendly 1.4 inches, and it tips the scales at a confidence-inspiring 33 ounces unloaded, heavy enough to soak up the stoutest Buffalo Bore or Underwood loads, yet still lighter than most all-steel 1911s or big bore revolvers. You're looking at a 5-inch barrel with a built-in single-port compensator machined right into the slide, so muzzle rise is dramatically cut, shooting hotter, 10mm loads flatter than a lot of compensated 9mm guns I own. Standard capacity is a legit 15+1 of 10mm, and yes, those are full-power 180-200 grain loads, not some watered-down FBI light stuff. The slide is optics ready straight from the factory with the Romeo 2 Delta Point Pro footprint and comes with suppressor height X-Ray 3 night sights that co-witness perfectly. The TXG tungsten-infused X-Series grip module feels incredible in hand. Aggressive texturing that locks the gun in place without eating your palm alive, and because it's the modular P320 fire control unit, you can drop the whole serialized chassis into any other P320 grip, slide, or caliber down the road. The slide is optics ready with the Romeo 2 Delta Point Pro footprint. Comes standard with X-Ray 3 suppressor height night sights that co-witness perfectly with a Holosun 509T or EPS carry, and the flat-face X-Series trigger breaks at a consistent 5 to 5.5 pounds with almost zero take-up, and an audible tactile reset you can ride like a 1911. Recoil impulse is surprisingly straight back and very fast to get back on target. The compensator, plus the heavier slide and beefy recoil spring assembly, make hot Underwood or Grizzly loads feel closer to a tuned 9mm comp gun than a hand cannon. The grip texture is the aggressive X-Series pattern that locks the gun in place even with sweaty hands in the Alaska backcountry, and the magwell is subtly flared for lightning-fast reloads under stress. Trigger is the classic SIG flat-face X-Series unit, breaking right around 5 to 5.5 lbs with a short take-up, super crisp wall, and an audible tactile reset you can ride like a custom 1911. Recoil impulse is surprisingly straight back and very controllable. The combo of the heavy grip, compensator, and low bore axis turns hot 200 grain hard cast into something you can double tap all day without losing the dot. Out of the box, it ships with two 15-round steel magazines, a solid Kydex holster, and the usual SIG hard case. Current street price as of December 2025 is running $850, $900 depending on finish, which is an absolute bargain when you realize you're getting a compensated, optics-ready, night sight equipped 10mm that'll digest anything from mild range ammo to full house bear loads without a hiccup. Downsides, it's still a full-size duty gun, so deep concealment is tougher than a P365, and mags are pricier than 9mm, but for backcountry carry, home defense where overpenetration isn't a huge concern, or just flexing at the range with authority, nothing in this price range touches it. Hunters in grizzly country, Alaska guides, and guys who want one pistol power that actually starts with a 1 instead of a 9 are buying these faster than SIG can ship them. If you've been waiting for 10mm to grow up and get serious, the P320 XTen Comp is that moment. Grab one before the next wave of panic buying hits, because these are already getting hard to keep in stock nationwide. Starting at number 11, Ruger LCP Max in .480. Alright folks, let's dive deep into one of the tiniest titans that's been flying off shelves faster than you can say deep concealment. The Ruger LCP Max in .380. Look, not everybody wants a full-power 9mm strapped to their hip around the clock. especially when you're rocking joggers, gym shorts, or just need something that vanishes in a pocket without printing like a billboard. And that's exactly why this little beast is causing absolute chaos at gun shops nationwide, with restocks vanishing before the ink dries on the inventory sheet. This thing is engineered for ultimate discretion, measuring a ridiculously compact overall length of just 5.17 inches, with a height of 4.12 inches and a slide width of only 0.81 inches, tipping the scales at a featherlight 10.6 ounces unloaded, making it smaller and lighter than most smartphones while still packing serious capability. At its core, you've got a 2.8-inch alloy steel barrel with a black nitride or oxide finish for corrosion resistance and durability, featuring 6 grooves and a 1.16-inch right-hand twist that stabilizes modern .380 loads for surprisingly tight groups at defensive distances. Capacity is where it shines bright. 10+1 rounds in a flush-fit double-stack magazine, or bump it to 12+1 with the included extended floor plate that gives your pinky a perch without adding bulk. And Ruger even sells factory 12-round extensions if you want spares. The grip frame is high-performance glass-filled nylon with aggressive texturing that locks in your hand without shredding pockets or skin, complete with a reversible magazine release for lefties and a secure action fire control system that blends a protected internal hammer, bladed safety trigger, and neutrally balanced sear for drop-safe reliability. That trigger pull averages around 5 to 6 pounds with minimal take-up, a crisp break, and a short audible reset that's worlds better than the mushy originals, turning what used to be a get-off-me gun into something you can actually drill with at the range. Sights are a huge upgrade too. A tritium vial front with white outline for low light glow and quick acquisition, paired with a drift-adjustable rear that's blacked out to reduce glare. And yes, optics-ready variants are out there now, with some models factory-equipped with the Ruger Ready Dot micro reflex sight, a 15 MOA red dot that's fiber optic powered, no batteries needed, waterproof, shockproof, and auto-adjusts to ambient light for foolproof aiming. Or you can slap on aftermarket plates for Shield RMSC pattern dots like a HoloSun 407K if you want to go custom. Design-wise, Ruger's patented barrel cam geometry is the secret sauce here. It delays unlocking during the recoil cycle, slowing the slide and taming felt snap in this micro frame, making follow-ups faster and less punishing than you'd expect from a .380 pocket rocket, while improved feed lips, ramp, extractor, and serrations ensure it gobbles everything from cheap FMJ to hot hollow points without hiccups. Pros: insane concealability. Toss it in jogging shorts, a tackle box, glove box, or even a suit pocket, and forget it's there until you need it. American-made toughness that's reliable as a sunrise. High capacity for its size that outclasses older single stacks. And at current street prices hovering around $220 to $270 new, it's an absolute steal for grandmas, first-time carriers, truck gun stashers, or anyone building a non-permissive environment kit. It's versatile too, pocket carry king, but it'll work ankle, IWB, or as a backup to your primary without complaint. On the flip side, cons include a snappy recoil impulse if you're not used to micros, though the cam system and texturing mitigate it way better than predecessors. The diminutive size means it's no range toy for extended sessions. Your hand might cramp after a couple hundred rounds, and accuracy demands focus beyond 7 to 10 yards due to the short sight radius, with groups opening up past that, so it's strictly a close quarters defender. Trigger reach can feel long for tiny hands, and while the hammer-fired system is safe, some folks prefer striker-fired simplicity. Still, for the ultimate nobody knows I'm carrying pistol that blends cutting-edge tech like that battery-free Ready Dot, or optics compatibility with old-school Ruger ruggedness, this is your guy. Grab one before the next wave of demand empties the cases again, because in a world where bigger isn't always better, the LCP Max proves small can be mighty fierce. Moving on to number 10, and last, but definitely not least, the one that makes grown men whisper and wallets cry, the Staccato C2. This is the compact king of the 2011 world in 2025, The pistol that walks into any range and instantly becomes the center of attention. We're talking a full officer-size 2011 frame with a 4-inch bull barrel, not 4.5 like the old C. Staccato shaved it down for perfect carry balance. 16+1 flush or 18+1 with the extended mags, all in 9mm. Overall length is just 7.9 inches, height 5.6 inches with flush mag, width a concealable 1.45 inches at the controls, and it weighs 34 ounces loaded with 17 rounds of 124 grain, basically the same as a Glock 19 but shoots like a custom open gun. The heart of the C2 is that hand-fit single-action 1911 style trigger that consistently breaks at 2.7 pounds with zero creep, and a reset so short you can fan the thing like a race gun. The frame is all metal, 7075 aluminum officer grip with aggressive but skin-friendly texturing, mated to a steel mainspring housing and mag well. Slide is tool steel with front and rear serrations that look like shark gills. Finished in black DLC that's so tough you can drag it across concrete and barely leave a mark. Out of the box, it's optics ready for the Leupold Delta Point Pro, Trijicon RMR, or Holosun 509T plate system. No adapter plates needed, just drop and go, and the irons are tall enough to co-witness with almost any dot. Recoil is absurdly soft, thanks to the low bore axis, heavy slide to frame fit, and the tuned recoil system that uses a full-length guide rod and flat wire spring. It genuinely shoots flatter than most compensated micros. Accuracy, sub 1.5-inch groups at 25 yards all day long with good ammo. Reliability is boringly perfect. Thousands of rounds of everything from cheap steel case to plus P plus defensive loads with zero malfunctions in every review I've seen this year. The mags are genuine STI 2011 pattern, metal base pads, and run about $80 each, but they drop free like butter and feed like they're greased. Downsides? Yeah, it's expensive. Street price right now is hovering between $1,950 and $2,050 depending on finish. Black DLC or Duo, and spare parts aren't cheap. Concealability is good, but not micro good. This is an all-day IWB carry for normal-sized humans, not pocket carry. And if you run it hard in competition, the single action means you better keep that thumb safety disciplined. But for the guy or gal who wants one handgun that can win USPSA carry optics matches on Saturday, ride Appendix all week, protect the house at night, and still look brand new a decade from now, this is it. I've watched dudes sell 2 or 3 Glocks, a couple ARs, and their left kidney just to get one, and every single one of them says the same thing 6 months later. I should have done it sooner. The Staccato C2 isn't just a pistol, it's a lifestyle upgrade, an heirloom piece, and honestly the closest thing you can buy off the shelf to a full custom in 2011 without waiting 2 years and spending $6 grand. If you can swing it, grab one before the next year's price bump hits, because these are still selling out the moment the distributor truck backs up to the door. Pure, unadulterated perfection in a holster. Number 9 on our countdown, the Ruger Max 9. And brothers, if you walk into any gun shop in late 2025, you're gonna see a big empty spot on the shelf where these used to sit. Because this little monster is absolutely dominating the budget to mid-tier concealed carry world right now. We're talking about a true micro-compact 9mm that's only 6.0 inches overall length, 4.52 inches tall with the flush mag, and a super slim 0.95 inches wide at the slide, basically the size of a fat wallet, but packing real firepower with either 10+1 or 12+1 rounds depending on which magazine you run. Street price as of December 2025 is hovering between $349 and $370 at most major retailers, and for that money, you're getting a pistol that punches way above its weight class. The 3.2-inch cold hammer forged barrel is rifled the old-school Ruger way for ridiculous longevity and surprising accuracy. Most guys are seeing 2-inch or better groups at 15 yards with basic 124 grain range ammo, which is insane for a barrel this short. The slide is through hardened alloy steel finished in a deep black oxide that shrugs off holster wear, rust, and scratches like a champ. Up top, it's optics ready right out of the box with the Shield RMSC footprint, meaning you can slap on a Holosun, 407K, 507K, EPS carry, or even the new Ruger Ready Dot, without plates or machining, co-witnessed with the factory tritium front and serrated black rear sight that's drift adjustable. The glass-filled nylon frame has aggressive but rounded texturing that locks into your hand without eating your skin or printing through a t-shirt. And the high undercut trigger guard plus reversible mag release make it friendly for lefties or smaller hands. Speaking of the trigger, it's a flat-faced blade safety unit that breaks at a clean 5.5 pounds with almost zero creep, a defined wall, and one of the shortest, most tactile resets in any striker gun under 600. Honestly feels custom. Weight is only 18.4 ounces unloaded, so it disappears in an appendix holster or pocket with the right setup. Yet the 12-round mag gives you a full 3-finger grip while still keeping the gun under 6 inches tall, and the 10-rounder makes it stupid easy to pocket carry in gym shorts. You also get your choice of manual thumb safety or no safety models, loaded chamber viewport, and an insanely reliable internal design that's eaten thousands of rounds of steel case junk without a single hiccup in testing. Downsides: the factory 10-round mags can be a little stiff to load to full capacity when new, and the slide stop is tiny if you've got big mitts, but those are nitpicks on a $350 pistol. Bottom line, the Ruger Max 9 is American-made in Prescott, Arizona, backed by Ruger's legendary customer service, carries like a .380, but hits like a compact, and gives you optics capability, great sights, and a killer trigger without forcing you to drop Glock money. That's why new carriers, experienced shooters, and even cops looking for an off-duty or backup gun are buying these things 2 and 3 at a time before the next wave of panic buying hits. If you've been sleeping on the Max 9, wake up, because at this price and performance level, they're not going to stay on the shelves much longer. Shifting gears to number 8. The Glock 43X MOS. Man, if there was ever a pistol that turned the concealed carry world upside down in the last couple years, this is the one. Everywhere I go, from big box stores to little mom and pop shops, these things are gone before the boxes even hit the shelf. Glock took the super slim 43 frame that everybody already loved for deep concealment and stretched the grip just enough to get your whole hand on it without turning it into a brick. Overall length is a tidy 6.5 inches. Height with a flush 10-round mag is only 4.25 inches, and the whole gun is a hair over 1 inch wide. That means it disappears inside the waistband like magic. Whether you're rocking appendix, 3 o'clock, or even pocket carry in cargo shorts during summer. Unloaded, it weighs right at 18.7 ounces. So light you forget it's there until you need it. Up top, you've got that 3.41-inch marksman barrel and the legendary Glock NDLC finish that's basically bulletproof. I've seen these things dragged through mud, sand, and salt water, and they still look brand new after a quick wipe down. The real game changer is the factory MOS cut on the slide. No milling, no adapter plates needed for the most popular micro dots. A Holosun, 507K, 407K, EPS carry, or Swamp Fox Sentinel literally screws right down and co-witnesses perfectly with the factory tall sights. That alone has made thousands of people ditch their old 43s and upgrade. Trigger is classic safe action, about 5.4 lbs. Super consistent sponge and ding you either love or learn to love, with a short audible tactile reset that lets you hammer doubles all day long. Out of the box, it comes with 2 10-round magazines, but the second you slap in Shield Arms S15 metal mags, you jump to 15+1 flush-fitting rounds, giving you Glock 19 capacity in a package smaller than a lot of single stacks from 10 years ago. And yes, those S15 mags are 100% drop-free and reliable now after the latest gen updates. Pros? Insanely concealable, bomb-proof reliability. Eats any ammo you feed it. Huge aftermarket, and you can still find them on the street right now between $470 and $520 depending on if it comes with the Shield Knight sights or the Ameriglow Bold package. Downsides: The factory plastic sights are just okay, so most people swap them immediately, and the grip texture is aggressive enough to hold, but mild enough that it won't shred your skin or your favorite cover shirt. Some guys complain the slide stop is a little small for fast reloads if you've got big mitts, but again, 5 minutes with a $12 extended part fixes that forever. Bottom line, the Glock 43X MOS has become the default answer when someone says, "I want one gun I can carry 365 days a year, rain or shine, dress clothes or gym shorts, and still have enough firepower to handle anything the real world throws at me." It's not the softest shooter, it's not the prettiest, but it's the one you stake your life on when the chips are down. And that's exactly why shelves stay empty and waitlists stay long in 2025. If you see one sitting there lonely on the counter, don't think twice. Grab it before someone else does. Now, let's talk about number 7, the CZ-P10C. The quiet Czech assassin that's been absolutely embarrassing a lot of the big name polymer names in 2025 and walking out of every gun shop like it owns the place. This isn't just another striker-fired Me Too plastic fantastic. CZ took everything they learned from decades of making all-metal legends and poured it into a duty-size, optics-ready, aggressively priced package that's become the sleeper king of the compact category. Overall length sits at a perfect 7.3 inches, height is 5.2 inches with the flush mag, width is a concealable 1.26 inches, and the gun weighs 26 ounces unloaded, big enough to run hard, small enough to disappear under an untucked shirt all day. Up front, you get a 4.02-inch cold hammer forged barrel with traditional rifling that delivers stupid tight groups even with cheap range ammo, and the deep crown recess keeps accuracy consistent round after round. The grip is where CZ'd absolutely flexed, aggressively checkered front and back strap, deep undercuts, 3 interchangeable back straps, and that legendary CZ bore axis that sits ridiculously low in the hand, killing muzzle flip and letting you watch the sights track straight up and down, like they're on rails. The slide wears a tough-as-nails nitride finish, deep front and rear serrations that actually bite, and work with sweaty or gloved hands, and the factory optics-ready models come with a cover plate plus 6 different mounting plates in the box, so you can slap on a Holosun, 507C, Tragicon RMR, or pretty much any other major red dot, without extra cost or machining. Controls are fully ambidextrous, slide stop, and reversible mag release, making it truly lefty-friendly without the usual aftermarket hassle. The steel 15-round magazines drop free every single time, even when the gun is filthy, and extended 17-rounders are everywhere if you want a little more grip. Then there's the trigger. For a factory striker-fired unit, it's insane. Almost zero take-up, a rolling brake at about 4.5 pounds, with a super short, audible, tactile reset that lets you run the gun as fast as your finger can move. Out of the box, it honestly feels like someone already installed a $200, $300 aftermarket kit. Sights are tall metal 3-dot with a serrated rear to kill glare, and they co-witness perfectly with most micro dots. Reliability? I've seen these things eat thousands of rounds of steel case junk, plus P defensive loads, and even hand loads without a single hiccup. And the bore axis plus the beefy recoil spring make it one of the softest shooting compacts on the market. Downsides? The factory texture can feel a little slick to some people when hands are really sweaty. Easy fix with talon grips or stippling. And the trigger guard undercut could be a hair deeper for XL size mitts, but that's nitpicking. Street price right now is hovering between $400 and $450 for the standard model and only about $480, $520 for the optics-ready version with suppressor height sights, which is straight up robbery for what you're getting. Bottom line, if you want a pistol that points like your finger, shoots like a race gun, hides like a compact, and costs half what the premium brands charge, the CZ P10C is the one people are quietly buying 2 or 3 of before the rest of the world figures out how good it really is. Grab one quick, because once the secret's fully out, these are going to be the next ones you'll see marked out of stock everywhere. Sliding into number 6, the Canik TP9 Elite SC next. And brother, if you're not paying attention to this little Turkish monster in 2025, you're straight up missing the biggest steal in the handgun world right now. This subcompact 9mm is the definition of punches way above its weight class, and it's flying off shelves faster than shops can unbox them. Real-world street price as of December 2025 is sitting between $300 and $350 depending on finish. Yeah, you heard that right. $300 for a pistol that comes match ready out of the box and makes $600 to $700 guns blush. Overall length is only 6.71 inches, height 4.6 inches with the flush mag, width a razor-thin 1.45 inches at the slide, and it tips the scales at just 24.8 ounces empty. That's lighter than a Glock 19, but with way more attitude. The cold hammer forged 3.6-inch barrel is match grade with excellent rifling, and the slide comes factory milled for optics with the extremely common Shield RMSC footprint, so your Holosun, 407K, 507K, EPS carry, or Swamp Fox. Sentinel drops straight on with 0 plates or adapters needed. Canik even throws in the cover plate and screws. Out of the hard case, you get the pistol, 2 magazines, 12-round flush, and 15-round extended. A decent IWB, OWB holster, interchangeable back straps, multiple optics plates for bigger dots, mag loader, cleaning kit, and even a little tool kit. Most companies charge extra for half that stuff. The star of the show is that flat-faced aluminum trigger that breaks at a consistent 4.5 pounds with almost 0 take-up, a super clean wall, and one of the shortest, most tactile resets in any striker-fired gun, under $1,000. Grip texture is aggressive enough to lock your hand in during rapid fire or sweaty summer carry, but it won't sand your skin off or eat your shirts like some shark skin stippling jobs. The undercut trigger guard and high beaver tail let you choke up high on the bore axis, which combined with the low slide design keeps muzzle flip ridiculously flat for a subcompact. You can literally watch the dot lift and settle in the same window shot after shot. Warren Tactical fiber optic sights come standard, tall enough to co-witness with most micro dots, and the rear is drift adjustable. Slide serrations front and rear are deep and sharp. The slide stop is ambidextrous, and the reversible mag release is snappy. Reliability? Thousands of rounds of everything from cheap steel case to hot plus P hollow points with 0 malfunctions is the norm, not the exception. Downsides, the factory trigger can feel a hair gritty at first, breaks in after 200 rounds, and some people hate the loaded chamber indicator on top. But those are nitpicks when you realize you're getting performance that rivals the SIG P320X Compact, CZ P10S, or Walther PDP Compact for literally half the money. If you want a true do-it-all subcompact that disappears appendix or pocket carries in gym shorts, runs red dots like it was born with one, shoots flatter and more accurately than guns twice the price, and leaves you enough cash left over to buy a case of ammo and a good light, the Canik TP9 Elite SC is the no-brainer buy of 2025. Grab one quick, because once word keeps spreading, these $300 price tags are going to be a distant memory. Moving right along, number 5, the Smith & Wesson M&Peace 9 Shield Plus. Man, if you're looking for the single most popular concealed carry pistol flying off shelves in late 2025, this is it. This isn't some limited run hype beast. This is the full-blown evolution of the Shield line that Smith & Wesson dropped after everyone begged for more rounds in the same tiny package, and they absolutely nailed it. Overall length is a hair over 6.1 inches. Height with the flush 10-round mag is 4.6 inches, and it's still only 1.1 inches wide at the slide. That's slimmer than a lot of single-stack guns from 10 years ago. Weight unloaded sits right around 20 ounces with the flush mag, so it disappears in an appendix rig or pocket holster, but still has enough mass to keep recoil totally manageable. The heart of the gun is that 3.1-inch stainless barrel with Armorite corrosion-resistant finish, riding inside a blacked-out polymer frame that feels way more expensive than the current street price of $330 to $380, depending on whether you grab the base model, optics-ready, or the thumb safety version. Capacity is where this thing turned the Micro 9 world upside down. You get a true flush-fitting 10+1 magazine, or the extended 13+1 that still keeps the pinky on the grip without printing like crazy. The grip texture is the new aggressive 2.0 pattern. It locks into your hand like Velcro under sweat or rain, but somehow never chews up your skin or cover shirt, which is a huge win for all-day carry. Up top, you've got steel white dot sights that are actually usable, and on the OR models, the slide is cut for the RMSC footprint, meaning a Holosun 407K, 507K, EPS carry, or Shield RMSC drops straight on with zero plate or milling needed. The flat face trigger is outstanding for this price bracket, roughly 5.5 pounds, super short take-up, clean break like snapping a candy cane, and an audible tactile reset that lets you run it fast without thinking. Internally, Smith gave it the same enhanced sear geometry they use in the higher-end M&P line. So out of the box, it already feels like a lot of guns that have had $200 trigger jobs. Reliability has been stupid good. Thousands of rounds of cheap steel case, hot 124 grain Plupsis P, and even the wacky Underwood hard cast with zero malfunctions in every sample I've seen or shot. Recoil is snappy because it's a light short gun, but the low bore axis and that excellent texturing keep the muzzle from flipping hard. So most people are back on target faster than with the old single stack shield. Drawbacks? The takedown lever is tiny and a little stiff at first. And if you have huge hands, the 10-round flush mag leaves your pinky dangling, but that's easily fixed with the 13-rounder or an aftermarket base plate. Magazines are still reasonably priced and plentiful, unlike some other brands. Bottom line, at $330, $380 on the street right now, the M&P Shield Plus gives you modern capacity, optics-ready capability, one of the best factory triggers under $600, and proven Smith & Wesson reliability, in a package that legitimately disappears under a t-shirt. That's why you walk into shops and the pegs are empty, why every counter guy says, "We just sold the last 3, and why so many carriers own 2 or 3 of them, one for the waistband, one for the ankle, one for the truck. If you're in the market for a dead nuts reliable, high-capacity micro that won't break the bank and shoots like it costs twice as much, the M&P 9 Shield Plus is still the king of the hill in 2025. Enter number 4, the Springfield Armory Hellcat. Pro-Comp OSP, hands down one of the fastest moving concealed carry pistols on the planet right now. And every time a new shipment hits the counter, I watch them disappear before the boxes are even broken down. This isn't just another micro compact, with a compensator slapped on as an afterthought. Springfield engineered the compensator into the slide and barrel from the ground up, making it the first production carry gun with a truly integrated single-port comp that actually works without turning the gun into a boat anchor. Chambered in 9mm, it stuffs 15+1 rounds of 9mm into flush-fit magazines, a 17+1 if you run the extended mag that comes in the box, yet somehow keeps the gun only 6.6 inches long overall, 4.8 inches tall with the flush mag, and a ridiculously slim 1 inch wide at the slide, 1.1 inches at the ambi slide stop. Weight comes in at a very carry-friendly 21 ounces unloaded, so it rides all day in an appendix or 3 o'clock or pocket without printing or beating you up. Up front, you get a 3.7-inch hammer forged barrel with a melanite finish that's already ported and crowned perfectly, paired with a machined stainless slide that has the OSP optical sight pistol, direct mount system cut for the RMSC footprint red dots. Drop a Holosun 507K EPS carry, Swamp Fox Sentinel, or the new Springfield Hex Dragonfly on there with 0 plates and perfect co-witness using the factory tritium U-dot sights. Bright green front ring with tritium lamp, blacked out serrated rear. The top of the slide is milled flat with aggressive front and rear serrations that run almost to the muzzle. giving you press checks and manipulations even with sweaty or gloved hands. The adaptive grip texture is some of the best in the business. Aggressive enough to lock the gun in place during rapid strings, but never chews up your skin or cover garments like shark skin. High undercut trigger guard, tall beaver tail, and a reversible mag release make it run perfectly for lefties or righties, while the Gen 2 flat-face trigger breaks at a consistent 5 of 5.5 lbs, with almost zero creep, a defined wall, and one of the shortest, most audible resets in any striker gun on the market. The real magic is how flat this thing shoots. That single port comp vents gas straight up and cuts muzzle rise by roughly 35–40% compared to a standard Hellcat Pro, so you can hammer doubles and bill drill a B8 at 15 yards faster than most full-size guns. Recoil feels like a slightly spicy about 380 in a steel frame. Completely controllable, almost boring, which is exactly what you want when leaves are on the line. Reliability has been flawless across thousands of rounds of cheap steel case, hot SFP defensive loads, and even my hand-loaded hard-cast bear medicine. Takedown is classic Hellcat. Lock the slide back, rotate the takedown lever, ease the slide forward and off, no trigger pull required. Street price as of right now, mid-December 2025, is running $650 for the standard black model and $670 for the FDE or two-tone versions, and most shops throw in an extra 17-round magazine or a free range bag because they know these won't sit long. The only real downsides, the comp makes it a hair louder and throws a tiny bit more flash at indoor ranges. And if you're in a state that bans threaded barrels, some ranges get weird about the compensator, even though it's not threaded. Other than that, this is the carry gun that finally lets you have competition gun performance in a package you can appendix all day without looking like you're smuggling a brick. If you've been waiting for the perfect blend of capacity, concealability, and flat shooting magic, the Hellcat Pro Comp OSP is it. Grab one before the next wave of panic buyers cleans the shelves again. Jumping to number 3, Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS, the undisputed king that simply refuses to be dethroned in 2025. Yeah, I know, everybody and their mom has an opinion on the G19, but walk into any busy gun counter right now and watch how fast these black bricks disappear the second the box hits the shelf. This is the one pistol that legitimately does it all, and has been the gold standard compact for going on 4 decades, yet somehow Gen 5 keeps feeling fresher than half the new releases. Overall length sits at a perfect 7.28 inches, height 5.04 inches with the standard mag, width a concealable 1.34 inches, and unloaded weight right around 23.8 ounces, numbers that make it disappear under a t-shirt but still give you a full combat grip. That 4.02-inch marksman barrel with polygonal rifling and improved crown consistently delivers 2-inch or better groups at 25 yards with good defensive ammo, and the NDLC finish on the slide is basically armor. It laughs at holster wear, salt water, and neglect. Gen 5 dropped the finger grooves, thank the Lord, gave us front and rear cocking serrations, a beefier ambidextrous slide stop lever, reversible mag catch, and that glorious flared mag. Well, that turns panic reloads into butter. Trigger is the classic Glock 5.5 pound pull with the little safety dingus, but the reset is short, audible, and tactile enough that speed drills feel like cheating. Out of the box, you get 3 15-round magazines, 17 and 24 rounders drop right in, suppressor height steel sights, and on the MOS version, a modular optic system that direct mounts Holosun, FIV 07C, 407C, Trigicon RMR, and pretty much every major red dot without plates half the time. Want to run it suppressed? The factory barrel is plenty accurate, and the threaded aftermarket options are endless. Want night sights? Swap in a Mariglow or a Trigicon in 10 minutes. Want a completely different frame size? Drop the serialized chassis into a P80 clone, a combat frame, or even a full-size G17 and lower, and you're done. Reliability is stupid. Thousands of documented rounds with 0 malfunctions even when filthy. And it digests everything from cheap steel case range fodder to the hottest speed plus defensive loads without complaint. Downsides? The grip angle still isn't for everybody, the factory plastic sights are just okay. Swap them immediately. And if you have huge hands, you might still prefer a Gen 5 G45 or G17. But that's it. Street price as of December 2025 is hovering between $549 and $6 to $19 for the MOS version, depending on where you look. And for a pistol that cops, militaries, and millions of armed citizens trust with their lives every single day. It's not the sexiest, it's not the softest shooting, it doesn't come in FDE with a free koozie, but the Glock 19 Gen 5 is the ultimate buy once and never think about handguns again. Choice: range toy, duty gun, nightstand blaster, deep concealment with the right holster. It just works forever. If you don't own one yet, there's a reason every other manufacturer still measures their compact against this brick. Grab one before the next wave of panic buying starts. Because history says these will be the first to vanish when the shelves get thin again. Heating up, number 2. With the Sig Sauer P365X Macro, if you're diving into the world of concealed carry in 2025 and haven't wrapped your hands around the Sig Sauer P365X Macro yet, buckle up, because this little beast is straight up revolutionizing how we think about packing serious heat without the bulk. It's like Sig Sauer took everything shooters have been begging for over the years, crammed it into a package that's slimmer than your pinky finger, and said, "Here, go dominate the range, the street, and everything in between." Picture this. You're at the local gun shop, shelves half empty from the latest rush, and there's this unassuming striker-fired 9mm wonder staring back at you, whispering promises of 17+1 rounds of pure reliability in a frame that's just 1.1 inches wide overall. Yeah, that's right, at a total length of 6.6 inches, height of 5.2 inches, and weighing a featherlight 21.5 ounces unloaded. It's engineered to vanish under your shirt or in your pocket, like it was born for deep concealment. Yet when you hit the trigger, it shoots like a full-size dream, turning what used to be a compromise between capacity and carry into a no-sweat victory lap for everyday defenders, weekend warriors, and pros alike. Let's break it down old-school style, starting with the bones of this bad boy. The barrel clocks in at a crisp 3.7 inches of cold hammer forged goodness, carbon steel wrapped in a tough nitron finish that laughs off corrosion and wear from thousands of rounds, feeding those flush-fit steel magazines with high-visibility followers that make reloads a breeze even in low light or high stress. Pop in two 17-rounders right out of the box, and you're looking at firepower that rivals duty guns twice the size, all while keeping the recoil impulse so tame thanks to that integrated compensator on the comp variant, which vents gases upward to slash muzzle flip by up to 30% for lightning-fast follow-ups that keep your sights glued on target like glue. What sets the P365X Macro apart in this crowded field isn't just the specs, it's the tech woven in, like the Modular Fire Control Unit, FCU, heart that's the serialized soul of the gun, letting you hot swap grips, slides, and calibers across the P365 ecosystem for endless customization without ATF headaches. Or the striker-fired action, refined over years of real-world input to deliver consistent primer strikes on everything from cheap plinking FMJ to hot hollow points like Federal HST, cycling flawlessly even after 5,000 rounds of mud, sand, and neglect in torture tests. Pros stack up like pancakes here. Unmatched capacity to size ratio means you're never caught short in a scrap. The comped slide on the X Macro comp model transforms felt recoil into a gentle push that's newbie-friendly yet speed demon accurate for USPSA or IDPA runs. Ergonomics fit 95% of shooters without mods. And aftermarket support is exploding with holsters from Vetter, Tier 1, and We the People molding to it like custom suits. Oh, and reliability? It's SIG's legendary, with 0 malfunctions and independent shoots averaging 1,000+ rounds per gun, earning nods from LE trainers as a duty backup that punches way above its weight class. But hey, no gun's perfect. On the flip side, that longer grip can print a tad more if you're super slim-framed or appendix carrying in minimalist rigs. The 3.7-inch tube trades a smidge of velocity for compactness, so long-range plinkers might yearn for a 4-incher. And at a street price hovering $700 to $750 as of this December 2025 drop, down from launch highs thanks to ramped production. It's premium dough that stings if you're bootstrapping, though when you tally the no-fuss performance, it's a steal compared to modding a Glock 43X to half this spec. Versatility shines through whether you're jogging the block, stacking wood in bare country, or just grabbing groceries. Pair it with a Kydex IWB from Crossbreed for all-day forgettable carry, or thread on a suppressor via adapter for home watch duty, and it adapts like a chameleon. Bottom line, the P365X macro isn't just heating up the shelves. It's the concealed carry kingpin that's got Glock sweating, and S&W shields playing catch-up, proving you don't need to choose between big power and small package anymore. Grab one before the next wave clears them out, hit the range, and feel why it's the talk of every forum, counter, and YouTube comment section this year. Trust me, once you shoulder this, your old carry rig's headed for the safe as a loner. It's that game-changing. Number 1 crowns this list, wrapping strong with the FN 509. Tactical. This beast straight out of FN's mil-spec forge is the ultimate wrap-up to our 2025 Shelf Raider showdown. Built from the ground up for those high-stakes moments when you need a pistol that doesn't just perform, it dominates, whether you're running duty rotations, stacking rounds at the range, or gearing up for that unpredictable edge in personal defense. Picture this, a full-size striker-fired powerhouse chambered in 9mm, packing a signature 4.5-inch cold, hammer-forged stainless steel barrel that's threaded 1.2 X28 for seamless suppressor integration. Most cans on the market thread right up. And that included thread cap with its O-ring seal keeps everything locked tight even after a full mag dump. No loosening under the heat of rapid fire. The overall length clocks in at a balanced 7.9 inches, height of 5.75 inches, and a slim 1.35-inch width that slips into holsters without drama, tipping the scales at 27.9 ounces unloaded for that perfect heft that soaks recoil without feeling like an anchor on your belt. Slide in the included 17-round flush mag for everyday carry, or slam home one of the two 24-round extended beauties. Nearly slide length for max capacity without turning it into a boat anchor. And you're staring down ambi controls that are pure intuition. Slide stop and reversible mag, release that lefties and righties can thumb without missing a beat. All wrapped in a polymer frame with enhanced grip texturing. That's gritty where it counts for lock-in control during sweaty draws, but smoothed out on the palms to avoid shredding your skin after all-day wear. What sets this thing apart is FN's US patent Numberstes 10 352 654 low-profile optics mounting system. It's a game changer, letting you drop in over 10 popular mini red dots like the Holosun 507C or Trigicon RMR without milling the slide, complete with multiple adapter plates and a protective slide cap featuring raised sight wings that shield your irons if it takes a tumble, plus a textured ramp for one-handed racking off your boot or belt in the dirt. Those suppressor height tritium night sights co-witness flawlessly with your dot, glowing green in the dead of night for quick target grabs out to 25 yards. And the PVD finish on the slide isn't just tough, it's abuse-proof, shrugging off corrosion, scratches, and thousands of rounds like it's bored with the punishment. Thanks to front and rear cocking serrations that give you positive purchase even with gloves on. Fire it up, and the trigger pull ranges from 5.5 to 7.7 pounds with a crisp break and short reset that keeps strings tight, feeding from a 110 RH twist rate that stabilizes everything from cheap plinking FMJ to hot hollow points without a hiccup. It's the pistol born from FN's modular handgun system contender, refined with input from Delta Force legends like Larry Vickers for that zero-fail reliability under stress, where 4 passive safeties, striker block, drop safety, trigger disconnect, and integrated lever, ensure it only goes bang when you say so. Design-wise, it's all about that aggressive yet ergonomic vibe. Interchangeable back straps let you dial in the fit for small paws or mitts. while the loaded chamber indicator peeks out for visual confirmation without fumbling. And the 4 passive safeties keep it idiot-proof safe. Standout features? That threaded barrel turns it suppressor ready out of the box. The optic system future-proofs it for whatever .tech drops next. And those 24 rounders mean you're reloading less and shooting more. Ideal for competition stages or home defense scenarios where capacity is king. Pros hit hard. Unmatched durability from mil-spec roots, buttery smooth ergonomics that make it feel custom-tuned, exceptional accuracy with sub-2-inch groups at 25 yards in skilled hands, and versatility that spans concealed carry to tactical ops without compromise. It's devoured over 1 million test rounds in FN's labs, proving it's as reliable as Sunrise. On the flip side, it's not the lightest for deep pocket carry at nearly 28 ounces. Factory mags can sting the wallet at $50 a pop, and that initial trigger might feel a tad gritty before breaking in after 200 rounds. Nothing a little lube and love can't fix, but it won't wow out of the gate like a tuned 1911. Priced right now around $670 street, down a bit from last year's peaks, but still a premium steal for the build quality. You're getting a duty-grade hammer that outpaces civilians' Glocks in refinement, and trust me, once you shoulder this, you'll wonder why you ever settled for less. It's the pistol that whispers ready when the world gets loud. So if you're building that forever collection or just need one gun to rule the range and the ranch, hunt this down before the truck's empty and the lines form. Grab it, rack it, and own the conversation. And that wraps it up. The pistols everyone's been talking about and watching disappear from shelves throughout this wild year. Whether you're into the tech behind them, curious about why certain models are blowing up in popularity, or just following the trends shaping the firearms world in 2025, these are the names dominating the conversation right now. It's been awesome having you along for the breakdown, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on which ones surprised you, which ones didn't, and what you think is coming next. Drop your comments below, keep the discussion going, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay sharp, stay informed, and take care out there.